All right, let's dive right in. If you're serious about growing your channel, you need to treat the explainer we're going through today not just as casual advice, but as your absolute blueprint. We're taking all the guesswork completely out of the equation and replacing it with pure, high-level strategy. So focus up, take some notes, and let's decode the exact mechanics of viral success together.
So we got to start with a pretty massive reality check. Why is it that 90% of creators end up quitting in just their first 30 days? It's a staggering statistic, right? The vast majority of people jump in completely blind, expecting overnight fame, and they give up because they're missing two fundamental things: strategy and patience.
Well, the exact opposite of that blind hope is a system. Motivation is fleeting, and let's be real, luck is definitely not a business model. If you want to avoid the fatal mistakes that wiped out 90% of beginners, you need concrete rules, solid frameworks, and predictable actions.
Here's exactly what we're going to cover in this blueprint today. First, a YouTube reality check. Then, niche and content strategy. Third, the CTR and retention game. Fourth, consistency and shorts power. And finally, the winning mindset. All right, jumping into part one, the YouTube reality check.
90%. That is the failure rate. Now, I actually want that number to agitate you a little bit. It should literally light a fire under you. Because if you can just avoid the core mistakes we're breaking down today, your channel becomes virtually unstoppable.
Moving right along to section 2, niche and content strategy.
Look, you simply cannot speak to everyone, because if you do, you're essentially speaking to no one. Just look at this comparison. On the left, we've got a super generic gaming strategy. You're just going to get lost in the noise. But on the right, a free-fire headshot trick. That is highly specific. It solves an immediate problem for the viewer. Remember, the riches are always in the niches.
Once you've finally nailed down that niche, you need what we call the 3-type content formula. See, every truly successful channel is a carefully calculated mix. You've got value content to build your authority and share knowledge, emotional content to connect with people on a real human level, and viral content that is designed strictly to explode your reach. Okay, let's get into section 3, the CTR and retention game.
You could literally have the greatest content in the world, but guess what? It's completely invisible if people don't click on it in the first place. So here is your ultimate click-through rate formula. First, face expressions. We are biologically wired as humans to react to emotion. Next, bold text. Keep this super punchy, just 2 to 4 words max. And third, use high-contrast colors, like deep blacks paired with aggressive yellows or reds. For example, 0 to 10K subscribers, fast. It's bold, it stands out, and it creates massive curiosity right away.
Now, once they actually click, you've got to keep them watching. The secret algorithm hack here is throwing a new hook at them every 30 seconds. Ask an engaging question. Weave in an emotional story. Throw in some sudden zoom cuts to visually reset their attention, or use unexpected pattern breaks. You literally cannot let their brain get bored for even a microsecond.
Which brings us to section 4, consistency and shorts power.
So, we've talked about the creative side, but now let's talk about the engine that drives the whole shebang. This is your actionable schedule. For long-form videos, aim for 3 per week, uploaded at the exact same time. And for shorts, 1 every single day, again, at the exact same time. You are basically training the algorithm to expect your content, and you're forcing your audience to make watching you a daily habit. And here is the absolute ultimate fast growth strategy. You really don't need to film fresh content from scratch every single day. Instead, you leverage YouTube's biggest weapon. You take one highly produced long video and you strategically chop it down into 5 high-impact shorts. You're multiplying your output and your reach without multiplying your production time. It's a total game changer.
But remember, execution is everything here. In the Shorts feed, a swipe is literally a millimeter away, so you absolutely must hook the viewer in those critical first 2 seconds, and you've got to use fast, dynamic, readable captions. Your pacing needs to be absolutely relentless.
Finally, section 5, the winning mindset. Because let's be real, eventually you're going to have a day with low view counts. It happens to literally everyone. So we need to redefine what success actually looks like in the short term. Your job as a creator is simply to upload consistently and improve. Going viral? Honestly, that's the algorithm's job. Take that pressure off yourself. If the views don't roll in today, it doesn't matter. Just trust the system.
I really want you to internalize this truth right here. Consistency plus improvement equals inevitable success.
If you show up every single day and you actively learn from your analytics to make that next upload just slightly better, the math is entirely in your favor. It's really just a matter of time.
But the most crucial part of all of this is actually taking action. So save this blueprint. Keep referencing these strategies every single time you sit down to create. And to keep empowering your journey, make sure you subscribe to Grow Up 31, the brilliant architects behind this explainer.
I want to leave you with this final powerful thought. Start small, but think big, because one single video has the power to completely change your life. It really just takes one perfect execution of the right hook, the right thumbnail, and the right retention strategy. The blueprint is right here in your hands now. So what are you waiting for? Are you ready to execute?